Good morning. We are so glad to begin the show and the week with you here on 3+U. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend and you're geared up for the week ahead. We're going to kick the show off this morning with Dr. Tiffany Ahlberg, who comes our way every month from Ahlberg Audiology in Cleveland. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And I'm talking kind of loud this morning, and I probably should scale it back because your topic today is volume versus clarity when it comes to hearing loss. Is that right?
It's very confusing. A lot of times people will think, I hear just fine. So what's the difference between what brings us volume and what brings clarity to speech? And I was thinking about it on the way here, and I thought it's very much like a guitar, a piano, where you have different keys that are different frequencies. So some speech sounds, like our vowels, are, if you put your hand on your throat and you feel a sound, O, A, E.
O, A, E. Each one feels kind of different.
Most of those are vowel sounds, are low frequency bass sounds.
Okay.
So it's like having bass tones on a piano, and then we have a whole separate frequency region which gives us consonants. So the
Do you still keep your hand
yeah, you
here?
can, and you can see that you don't feel anything.
Okay, so oh yeah, it's completely nothing.
So those are our clarity sounds. So the vowels are our loudness sounds, and the other consonants like your P's and your R's and your S's and your CH's and your T's, your K's, your F's, those are a whole different frequency. So there's a misconception sometimes when people hear but don't understand. They think, I hear that car going down the road. I hear somebody slamming the door. I don't have trouble hearing. It's the other people. They're not enunciating their words, and sometimes that is true. But a lot of times it's because that person has diminished ability to hear those consonant sounds because of a certain issue with their hearing in those frequencies.
Okay, so I want to try to remember 2 points. So the first one is, if that's the case, that speaks all the more to the need to get your ears checked professionally, because you can do the over-the-counter hearing devices, but they're not targeting your problem. Is that right?
Right, yeah. They're just a kind of a one-size-fits-all amplifier per se. I mean, there's some things that you can do, like if you have a cell phone, that you can do some frequency adjustments. But when we do the prescription hearing aids, we are very accurately matching each different frequency and dialing in the amount of volume that that person needs at that frequency to give that person the ability to not only hear volume sounds, but to hear clarity sounds as well.
Okay, so then let's suppose that this is a person who struggles with the clarity part of it, and that their tendency can be to say, well, Julie's not speaking clearly, therefore I can't hear. Yes, they can get the device that will help tune that in, but do I, as the person who loves them, still need to try to be more careful in the way I speak?
It's always, again, they're hearing aids, not hearing fixers. So there's always going to be, even people with normal hearing are going to have issues with some understanding. If there's background noise, if the person is talking from a different room, if the person has their back to them. So there's so many different circumstances that affect even a normal hearing person's ability to understand speech and to get the meaning of what the message is if they miss a few words.
I know that we've talked sometimes this time of year, kind of a warning about grass cutting season being here. We're out working in the yard a lot, the importance of protecting that hearing. Are there things that we do that lead to the clarity loss versus the volume loss? Noise-induced hearing losses are always the clarity sounds. Really?
100% of the time, yes. Our clarity sounds, those high frequencies, are always, when it comes to noise-induced hearing loss, is always the first to go.
So what does that look like then? What's our to-do list today then?
Just know that when you lose it, you don't get it back. And I know it's hard to think about your future because a lot of times we feel invincible. Oh, it's just one time, or I'll just do it. It's just the lawnmower. It's not. I'm not working in it. There's excuses as to why it's okay not to wear your hearing protection, and I'm here to tell you, please, I'll stress, wear your hearing protection, because You know, when you are in my shoes and you see someone that wishes that they had protected their hearing, and you can't do anything about it when it's gone. So
you've never been that direct before. Like we've talked about this before, but you've never issued that kind of a plea before in our conversation. So that means even if you're going to send your teenage son out to cut the grass, he needs to wear it too?
Yeah, and you know, I saw a kid the other day that had a hearing loss, and the only thing that we can think of is that it's from his gaming headset that he's wearing all the time. So even something like that turned up really loud on one side. There's so many different things in our life that we don't think are that bad.
I shouldn't tell on her, but here I go. So my teenage daughter will come home, and if I'm in our garage, when you pull into our house, you go in the garage, and then the bonus room is right up there. And if I'm in the bonus room, I always know when she's gotten home because I can hear her car. And that scares the stew out of me, should it?
It should, yeah. If you feel it, it's definitely too loud.
Yeah. But kids today don't realize that.
No, because they're invincible.
Right. Okay, so I have a minute left. Cutting the grass, leaf blowing, or just, you know, the grass clippings blowing. Music.
Yep, concerts. Even
phone to your ear?
That's usually not that a problem.
Okay,
no.
but car noise, like in the car?
The stereo system, the bass turned up. I mean, not only are we getting auditory sounds from that, but we're getting a bone conduction sound that's stimulating our ear too. So that you have two different things going on when you have that much bass going on.
Okay, and she has said to us before, let me see if I have this right, when you're 50, you should get a baseline hearing?
That is the age that is recommended that everyone have a baseline hearing test.
Okay, so here's how you will find her. It's Ahlberg Audiology in Cleveland on North Ocoee Street. Ahlbergaudiology.com is the website, and the phone number is 641-0956. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, the joke's on me. You know why? I had to put my glasses on so that I could read Tiffany's information to get in touch with you, and then I sat back and relaxed.